Good afternoon. Today we are presenting advances in collaboration to leverage research and education network infrastructure between Africa, Latin America, and the USA. Our presenters are Heidi Morgan, Len Lotz, Luis Elise Cadenas, and Aloisio Hassin.
So the SANREN consists of two entities, TENET and the SANREN team. TENET, some of you will know this already, was created in 2000. It's primarily the universities and research institutions in the country, but has come to serve the TVET colleges and some school networks as well. We fund it through a cost recovery from the beneficiary institutions. They typically pay for a service currently. It operates the network that's deployed by the SANREN team, but also deploys some network functions and components and does get some government funding for projects. And of course, we finally deliver the services of both networking and other NREN type services. The SANREN team themselves were created in 2006 as a business unit embedded in the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research. They're funded through a state grant from the Department of Science and Technology. They design, acquire, implement, and build at all the levels in the network. They develop services and incubate services and see what the possibilities are, and then ultimately, in most cases, hand them over to TENET for operation. This map shows the SANREN connectivity, and you'll see up on the right-hand side, you'll see many cables that connect us mostly to Europe, but so you'll see that we've WAX, CCOM, EASY, and SAT3 connectivity into London and Amsterdam. We have 100 gigs between London and Amsterdam, and we also are in the process of putting a second 100 gig link in between London and Amsterdam. Should be live in the next couple of weeks. And then you can see the cable that leaves the short section of WAX that goes from Cape Town to Angola, and then obviously from then on it goes on the SAX cable across to South America and Miami. I've drawn that top red cable in dotted lines because that's not currently installed, but it's a distinct possibility. You'll see later on that we have enough capacity to turn such a service up. And what would be a really nice thing is if it were to drop at least in one place, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Something I didn't mention here is the backbone itself is all this light blue stuff that you see there is now a multi 100 gig, a 96 channel 100 gig capable backbone. So no more 10 gig lit services. We have a dark fiber backbone. We can do up to 96 channels. And the result of that has been quite a lot of swapping of waves on other paths. So we've been able to extend the network quite substantially as a result of adding some dark fiber in the main core of the network, including the dark fiber in the metro rings. So obviously one of the big reasons we want to be presenting at this UbuntuNet Connect thing is the fact that UbuntuNet is on our network. We were one of the founder members of UbuntuNet at the very beginning. So the SANREN is a member and has a good relationship with UbuntuNet. And currently we operate an open exchange point in Cape Town. It's called Xoxi. And the idea would be that eventually there could be a Xoxi with two eyes at the end when the second open exchange point would, if there were one to open. The SANREN owns 7.4% of the WAX cable. It's a sizable piece of bandwidth. Right today, it could probably be around 900 gigs of capacity between London and Cape Town. Obviously, one of the 100 gig links between Angola and Cape Town is part of that ownership. And we're happy to be collaborating with ArcLight and Amlite and anybody else who wants to join us too. UbuntuNet is connected to Xoxi, so UbuntuNet is currently making use of the capacity that runs over to Fortaleza and Miami, and we hope that the usage will increase. Usage levels at the moment, probably worth mentioning, not great. COVID has really hurt certainly South Africa's networking, and I suspect most of Africa's networking in some way. So our network is pretty well idle in using of this kind of service, much more focused on getting traffic to students and staff who are almost always working from home now. So outflows rather than inflows, and less research traffic than usual. So these links are fairly quiet at the moment. We're hoping that at some point there'll be an exchange point opened in Luanda once they get an Angolan NREN going, and that would mean another open exchange point. And so obviously we can then carry traffic to that exchange point. So anybody who's at any of these exchange points that are joined together can obviously make use of the traffic availability, the bandwidth that's available there. We're hoping to extend Xoxi's reach to other landing stations, and obviously Angola would be a nice first win if we could actually get into the Angolan NREN once it exists as an NREN. But we're currently discussing among interested parties in Angola, in Lagos, well, with WACREN, and hopefully taking the link all the way to London, and then allowing a whole bunch of NREN traffic to pass between all of those points, and creating something of a ring between London, North America, Fortaleza, back to Angola and Cape Town. We hope this happens. And with that, I'll hand over.
First, I'm presenting the Americas Africa Light Path Express and Protect project called Amlite Exp, and then the Atlantic Wave Software-Defined Exchange project. At UC19, I spoke about the Amlite South Atlantic cable system. Amlite SAX is now part of the Amlite Exp. In March 2020, that link came into service and connected the US and Brazil to Cape Town via also the West African cable system. In April, the Amlite Consortium submitted a 5-year proposal to the US National Science Foundation, and we received approval to operate and continuously improve the production and experimental software-defined network connections between the US, Latin America, and Africa. The 2020 map on the left shows the Amlite Exp, including the Amlite SAX network. Express paths are in green and represent 400 gig of aggregated upstream spectrum capacity between Boca Raton in Florida, Fortaleza, and São Paulo in Brazil. The Protect ring in red represents a 200 gig ring of aggregated leased capacity between Miami, Panama City, Santiago, Chile, São Paulo, and Fortaleza, and San Juan, Puerto Rico. Amlite SAX in green is a 100 gigabits per second Ethernet over spectrum link between Miami, Fortaleza, and Sangano, Angola, which continues over WAX in yellow to Cape Town. From Miami to Internet 2, we operate 200 gig connecting points in North America, Europe, and Asia. Reclara in pink provides 200 gig from Santiago to Porto Alegre, and RNP in blue provides 200 gig from Porto Alegre to the Southern Light Open Exchange Point in São Paulo. The 2021-23 map in the center displays our plans to increase aggregate capacity to 800 gig. We will extend the Amlite Express spectrum from São Paulo to Buenos Aires, Boca Raton to São Paulo, and add capacity north between Boca Raton to Atlanta to support the Rubin Observatory in Chile and the Fabric node in Miami. By 2023, the Amlite Consortium will install new segments to add capacity and resiliency. RNP plans new diverse routes and capacity between the South America Exchange, SAX, in Fortaleza to Southern Light. Reclara plans to activate spectrum on the new Ella cable. The 2024-26 map on the right is Amlite Consortium's future vision of growing the global RNE network fabric. Parts of this topology could be built on new submarine cable systems that are under construction in the South Atlantic, and other parts on submarine and terrestrial cables that are in service. With the addition of these segments, the total capacity between the US, South America, and Africa is estimated at 4.4 terabits per second. The myamlite.net map is available to the public. It reports aggregate usage, or you can click on any of the segments to view specific segment usage. The Atlantic Wave software-defined exchange is an experimental SDX to support research, new deployments, and interoperability testing at global scale. Atlantic Wave SDX is supported by the NSF, and the team received a new 5-year grant to extend the project through 2026. The goals are to continue to build the SDX between the US, Brazil, and Chile in the first 3 years, and to work with our partners in South Africa to install the SDX in Cape Town by year 4. We will also offer workshops in years 4 and 5 to network operators and domain scientists to utilize the SDXs. We aim to continuously improve science flows to enable scientists to reserve network resources using a simple interface that programs the forwarding plane to meet application requirements.
Thank you very much for this invitation to participate in this conference and share with you the role of Reclara and the activity that Reclara has been developing in the framework of this very important project. I would like to begin mentioning the role of Clara in Latin America as the regional research and education network, connecting 11 national research and education networks, so 11 countries in South America, Central America, and North America when we count Mexico. And thanks to this cooperation we have been already working on for a while, we are being able also to provide additional capacities and connectivity to all our national research and education networks, helping to Reclara and also to other partners to strengthen the capacity and the options that we have to provide additional services also. No? In particular, in relationship with the African connection, new connection, we are very happy to have this new link, since we think that we have many common things between the African continent and the South American and Central America part of America. We have similar challenges, we have similar worries, and having a good connection as we have now is letting us to work together to increase or improve our conditions and help each other. We signed an agreement thanks to this new connectivity. We signed an agreement to cooperate with UbuntuNet Alliance in order to help to foster the work that we are doing. And additionally to that, adding up to the Bella project, with the Bella project and this connection, we are going to be able to increase cooperation between Europe, USA, Latin America, and Africa, and it is a quite important achievement for us in the last year. I would like also to mention a little about the role of the project Bella, that we are at this moment in process of deployment and installation. As you know, the Bella project is deploying a subsea cable connecting Sines in Portugal and Fortaleza in Brazil, initially with 100 gigabit per second channel of capacity, but we are going to have the opportunity to increase this many times whenever we need to increase the bandwidth for any one of the applications that we can have in this new connection. Quite important, the role that this African connection could have in terms of providing a backup route, helping with the resiliency of the total system, and helping to make better connections with the project in North America. And I would like also to end this presentation about the role of Clara, sharing with you this map of the network. As you can see, the blue links in the subsea cable coming from Portugal to Brazil, and then the others going through Latin America are the impact, are the links that are being deployed by Bela. And in this way, we are, fostering additional capacities in the national networks to increase this cooperation capacity. So we are very happy to be part of this project. We will see in the future to see how we can stretch more this cooperation, and how this cooperation could help everybody in the community, in the global SANREN community, to increase capacities for the scientific community. In particular, in this slide, you can see the topology, and also a point that after this slide is going to be reviewed is the point of the global exchange points that are going to be able to be used in Fortaleza and Sao Paulo, providing support for the traffic to Africa, no? And also for the traffic to Amlite in US. Thank you very much for the opportunity, and I hope the conference will be a total success.
Now we will talk about the RNPs, Global Exchange Point, GXPs, SAX and SOL, South America Exchange Point in Fortaleza, and SOL, it's the Southern Lights in São Paulo that we made it jointly with ANSP, the Academic Network of São Paulo. We are talking about the updates we are doing in these exchange points later this year and in the beginning of the next year. From SAX in Fortaleza, we are working on the interconnection of the Amlite Express, the 200 gig Monet green line in the map, to the Amlite Protect 100 gig in SAC-LAN cable, the red line in the map, to establish a 100 gig link between the sites. And this connection will enhance the availability of the connection from United States to Africa, and also the Africa to the rest of the Latin America. And we also replace the equipment in the Sparkle and the SAC-LAN cable to a new one, and reconfigure the nodes to a single domain that we will use the EVPN VPWS instead of the current configuration of local circuit cross connect. This will simplify the setup of the virtual circuits we have. In the Southern Light in São Paulo, we will integrate the Juniper node with the Fortaleza equipment in the same MPLS domain. So it will simplify the setup of the circuits that connect this equipment. São Paulo will also have another equipment that's dated, and we will replace it with a new generation of the Amlite SDN switch that manage part of the international connection arriving in São Paulo. I'd like to thank you, everyone, and all the presenters for the great partnership we have.